Hi everybody, and welcome back to my build on my property. I'm putting together a 10 by 16 foot shed late this summer, this season, in advance of putting up a larger building next summer, a 32 by 48 garage. But in the meantime, I've had to put this shed together to house all the equipment that I have now out on my property, out on my 10 acres. So with the rafters all cut, I'm now able to move forward and start laying them and drilling them into place with my drill driver and those 6-inch screws that I told you about, 6-inch structural screws that I told you about. And I sock in the first one right about now. Everyone may get bored with me reminding them about this fact, but like many other people on YouTube, I am not a trained craftsman, or I do not have a trade whatsoever. I have learned what I've learned from other family members. I took shop class way back in high school years ago, and as I've explained on previous videos, I've always had an interest in and been involved in carpentry work, as well as building various structures on the various houses and other properties that I've owned over the years. For example, last summer I built a 12 by 24 garage with a concrete foundation, and that came together quite well. I install a couple of ratchets at this point in installing the rafters, because by just placing the rafters in position, it was easy to notice that on the high wall they were out by about an inch at the top end there. So by using the ratchet, you can see here in the fast motion that once I actually pull tight and secure the ratchets, you actually see the wall pop in. That high wall pop in about half an inch, allowing the rafters to settle properly and for me to secure them in place correctly. Once I get into a bit of a rhythm, I start to put the rafters in place in a pretty consistent fashion. Again, this is fast speed video right now, but in terms of my abilities and my skill level, I was able to start to get them in place pretty quickly and attach them using these screws. And the other thing to keep in mind, I had previously, ahead of lifting the rafters into place, I had marked the 24-inch on center on the top of the beams and on the side of the beams, so it facilitated the installation quite a bit.
Last 2 rafters to go.
This type of work is not precision carpentry by any stretch of the imagination, but by obviously taking care in my detail concerning the construction of the walls, both the load-bearing walls, and then taking time with cutting the angles, the 12-degree bird's mouth and end cuts to the rafters, as well as using the ratchets to pull in the tall wall as necessary. It just made the assembly that much easier and allowed me, as I said earlier, to really put the rafters in quite easily, especially given the fact that I am not, as I've said, a trained tradesman in any stretch of the imagination. I have a couple of friends who are builders, and I ask them for advice. And I also have a couple of YouTube channels that I look at for advice every once in a while. One of them being R&R Buildings, and I think it's Dirt Monkey. Stanley at Dirt Monkey has good tips as well in terms of building and construction, even though I think he focuses mainly on landscaping. But again, taking care and being precise with your build details just allows for the actual installation and construction to go that much easier. And here's a perfect example illustrating the fact that I am not a trained craftsman or hold any trade of any kind. You'll notice the following in terms of my thoughts.
I should have been a little smarter, and I should have marked where the purlins go up on the rafters. I've not done that, and it's just going to be a little trickier hanging off the rafters and my ladder, marking these points on the various rafters. Maybe I'll mark them every 3 or 4 rafters, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But I have 1 screw left to go, and all the rafters will be secured.
Alright, one more go.
All done, folks. I am one happy guy right now getting these 9 rafters up. Big step. Now it's time to get those purlins up and then sheet metal.
And to close off today, here's a photo showing the status of the build at this point. The 9 rafters are installed, and as I said at the end of the last clip, I am really pleased with what I've done so far. The walls are plumb, the floor is level, everything's square, and it's in good shape for the next stage of installing the purloins and then the tin roof. If you enjoy watching the videos and find them educational and hopefully a little entertaining as well, please hit that like button and subscribe, and please come back for some future videos. Thanks.